me, Estill Voice Training has been more than just learning about vocal technique. It's been a real journey of self-discovery, reconnection, and a real kind of getting back to your kind of natural voice, in a way, of getting back to the raw workings of the vocal mechanism, of how your voice can function and how you can bring around and bring about new ways to use your voice that you never even knew were there. They've always been there, yet you can unlock them. Now, you're thinking, well, how on earth do you do that? It's quite a simple approach. You know, maybe you've read about Estill Voice Training before, maybe you've even been on a course, but as you delve a little bit deeper into Estill Voice Training, for me, the 13 figures are a real time of reconnection, of stripping back the layers of what you've been taught for, or heard, or thought about yourself or about your voice for years. And then actually, it's like stripping back to the raw workings of the vocal mechanism, of vocal function, of how you can use your voice without thinking about it sounding pretty or singy or in a certain way. It's like getting right back down to the bare bones of it and going, okay, let's just make some noise and let's get control over that noise and make those sounds and have some fun and maybe understand or uncover things about yourself that were holding you back from making those sounds before. It's a real reprogramming of how you use your voice. And it's not just for singers, it's for actors, it's for anyone who uses their voice, which is everyone in the whole world uses their voice to communicate. It is a really phenomenal training in communicating, using your voice as a communication tool. And we all need that. Whether we're public speakers, whether we are content creators, whether we are singers, we want to be a professional singer. We could have been doing this for years. This will really be a great experience for you to revisit, relearn, reassess, not just your singing voice or your speaking voice, but to reassess you and your beliefs about yourself and how you express yourself. That is how I would explain Estill Voice Training, or at least I have been lucky enough to have that experience through the people that I have learnt with, through my mentors. I've been very, very lucky to have had quite I'm not scared to say, a spiritual experience through Estill in really reconnecting with who I am as a person and as a performer. And to really kind of leave all the artistry and the musicianship and all that stuff at the door and go in and just literally focus so purely and so intensely on voice, on what is going on seeing, feeling and hearing what is going on in there. And it's mind-blowing. It is refreshing. It's like a sense of the weight being taken off your shoulders because you finally understand what you were actually doing and you finally understand how to do the things that you couldn't do before or why you couldn't do the things that you couldn't do before. And that to me is priceless. If you are a voice user, you are a singer, actor, content creator, public speaker, preacher, anyone who uses voice, this is going to help you to uncover new things. I have experienced this myself firsthand, and I've experienced it with my students. I use tools that I've learned from Estill Voice Training to teach my singing students. I've been a vocal coach now for 20 years. I've been a professional singer for 20 years. It's a very clear, concise system of training that is great conditioning for the voice. It's great conditioning for the mind. It's great conditioning for just really getting a great mind-body connection that you can use in your toolkit. Estill, for me, has given me a stronger voice that I can trust. It's given me vocal health that I maybe didn't have before. It's given me tools to be louder without pushing. It's enabled me to sing in ways that maybe I didn't believe that I could before. It's given me choice. It's enabled me to sing in different genres throughout my career, to cross genres, to be able to use my voice in different ways as a singer, as a speaker, as a teacher. For my students, it's given them all those things too. You know, it's very individual. This is what's great about Estill, is you learn to really dial in and hear what's going on, not only with you, but if you teach vocals, if you teach singing, you can really hear and see and quickly and effectively help someone to get where they want to be. So if you'd like to learn more, then why not do my introductory workshop, which you can find out more information by clicking on the link, whether it's up there or it's down there or whichever platform this is on. It might be in the bio, it might be in the comments below, but you can hop on to my introductory workshop. So what are you going to learn on an introduction to Estill with me? Well, you're going to learn basic anatomy and physiology of the voice and how it works, of the vocal function and vocal mechanism. You're going to learn 13 figures for voice, which are the tools to freedom, I'd like to think. You're going to learn about the 6 voice qualities that Joe Estill came up with, using the figures to create these voice qualities, like a little mixing tool. You can throw them in a pot, mix them up, and we're going to see what we come out with. It's not going to be you listening to me just tell you all this stuff. You're going to be doing it, making sounds. You're going to be unlocking new things. You're going to be letting go of old beliefs. You're going to be moving forwards, become self-empowered, open yourself up to new opportunities, self-empowerment, and choice, and courage, and a feeling and a sense of achievement in yourself that you didn't have before. 13 figures for voice, 6 voice qualities, opening up a whole new world of opportunities for you and your voice. So why not join me for an introductory workshop on Estill Voice Training? You can find out more by clicking the link below or checking out the link in the bio.